Hello, my fellow real estate professionals, and welcome back to training. Today, being Wednesday, it is for property management. So today we're digging into one of the biggest keys to successful property management, setting owner expectations and keeping communication clear. If you've ever had an owner upset because things weren't going their way or where they thought they were supposed to go, chances are it wasn't the situation that caused the issue. It was the fact that you didn't set the right expectations right from the start. So let's break down how to handle this up front so there's no misunderstandings or unmet expectations later. That's definitely not what we want. All right, so why owner expectations matter? Let's discuss, shall we? Property owners usually come in with these big, huge hopes. My property will never sit vacant. It's a gorgeous property. It's never going to be vacant. Tenants are going to treat it like it's their own home. Maintenance is going to cost nothing because the house is in perfect condition and I've worked hard to maintain it. Right now, you have to reset those expectations early, right from the start. You're going to be putting out fires the entire relationship otherwise. Owners need to know what's realistic versus like what's wishful thinking. That way, when things happen, and I guarantee you things are going to happen, at least they're not blindsided, okay? And at least they're not thinking that it's just you or just the company or just property management in general. They have to know that this is kind of normal for property management. So let's go ahead and have those mildly uncomfortable conversations right up front. Go ahead and eat that frog, as Brian Tracy says. These are the three biggest expectation areas to cover right from the start. Number one is vacancy and turnover. So how do you have that conversation? Mr. Homeowner, even in a strong rental market, I want you to be prepared that there will be some vacancy between tenants. That's totally normal. We're going to do everything that we can to keep it short, but between advertising and doing the showings and running the application, it's going to be part of owning rental property, having that vacancy. So make sure and include it in your budget for property management, okay? All right. What about maintenance and repairs? Here's what I want you to say. Mrs. Homeowner, things break. That's just real estate. Our job is to handle repairs quickly and cost effectively, and of course, protect one of your largest assets. But owners should expect ongoing maintenance as part of protecting their investment. Being proactive is definitely key. Very helpful. You might even explain maybe some details like don't replace carpet with carpet, replace it with tile if at all possible. All right, then go into the tenants. Mr. Homeowner, we screen very carefully and very thoroughly, but no tenant is perfect. Normal wear and tear happens. The lease and our management process protect you if issues go beyond that. Simple, right? But explaining it right from the start. Okay, let's talk about communication. Communication is everything. Once expectations are set, the next piece is deciding upon the communication. How much, how often, and how? Exactly. How do they want their communication? Owners don't want to feel like their property disappeared into some black hole. Maybe after years, they trust you and you won't have to give an explanation quite as often. Maybe you will. It just depends on the owner. So here's what good communication looks like for most owners. Regular updates. Even if it's just a monthly, all good kind of check-in. Maybe you're driving by, you snap a picture, you send it to them and say, hey, I was driving by the neighborhood. Wanted to send you a picture of the house. It looks great. Be very transparent. If something goes wrong, call before they call you. All right. Also, set how and when you can communicate. For example, we update by email during business hours. For emergencies, we're always on call. But when it's not an emergency and it's just wanting to go over your account while you have access to it 24/7, you don't have access to me 24/7. They're going to hear from you, they're going to feel taken care of, and they're not going to panic if they try to call you about their account at 2 o'clock in the morning your time. let's go ahead and talk about a few tips to help you be successful in property management. Put expectations in writing. It avoids misunderstandings later, and it helps set boundaries that they can't later go, oops, yeah, no. Communicate early. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, don't just not answer your phone. That is the number one mistake. Never assume they'll just know how things work out. No, spell it out from start to finish and give all the details that they want or require. Remember, owners don't expect perfection. They expect honesty and they expect responsiveness. We had a little bit of an issue with that here because for a long time, it was just them calling to talk to me. All the time, all phone calls went to me. We grew, and now we have somebody specifically for them to call and contact, either if it's a portfolio, their property manager, or if it is in the departmental properties, then it's going to go to the departmental head that all she does is talk to owners. It's fantastic. It seems to work much better. And they don't have to wait around for me, which sometimes if I'm doing something out of state or traveling or something like that, it can be difficult. So what we found to be better is for the expectations to be set right from the start. Be very clear, be very consistent with the communication. All of that equals happy owners. When you explain vacancy, maintenance, tenant realities up front, and then back it up with honest updates all throughout the process, you're going to build trust. And trust is what keeps owners loyal to you and your company long term. So here's your action items that you can do. Go ahead and write down the 3 expectations. Feel free to watch this again. But you're going to write down the 3 expectation scripts that we covered today, what you're going to say to them and why, and explain yourself, etc. And then start using those in your next owner call or meeting. You're going to thank yourself later. You really will. If this training was helpful, hit the like, subscribe, and share it with all the other pros who are learning the ropes of property management. And I'll see you next time. Bye.